Alright, chat. Hello, everyone. It's been a while since we did some stuff online, especially in English, right? Finally, new shipment has arrived. We got a new patch. We actually got a lot of stuff. So let's take a look at these patch notes. Chat tried real hard not to spoil any information just one day prior to patch release. Chat tried real hard not to spoil where we could have seen this champion, in what video, in what cinematic, in what adventure video, I would say. Chat tried real hard not to tell which region the champion's from, like, chat was real chill about that. Also, how many letters in champion's name we have, and also that the letter U is really meaningful in this champion's name. And probably it should have been yet another Nuno. 4 letters, we got U, we got Freljord. Everything was just pointing at Nuno, but no. We hail Udyr. Firefox, hey, hello. So, honestly, it's been a real surprise that we got Freljord on champion twice in a row. It's no secret that we used to have a disbalance in champions. We had little to no Targonians. We have still a lot of Noxus champions, a lot of Piltover and Zone champions. Yeah. And since Soraka release, every region had at least 4 champions, so it was nice. Then we had Nuno. I kind of was a little bit disappointed, not gonna lie. Well, his gameplay is alright, but just that's not the champion that I was looking for. That's a me issue, I would say, right? I didn't have many, or rather any expectations. It's just that the champion doesn't really resonate with me. Ever since playing League of Legends, I guess. He was reworked, so that's about it. The early days Nuno was alright, but then after rework, well, I mean, I have stopped playing League of Legends in Season 8, late Season 7, Season 8. Yeah, I think Season 8 was the last time I got any ranked rewards. So, I actually played Udyr. I had like 3 gaming sessions of Udyr, maybe 4. I definitely do have something to say about him. I already tried. I did almost a whole main campaign with 2 stars. So I did the normal level until level 13. I have 200 extra experience, so it was a breeze. That's why I managed it in like 4 or 5 hours. I did Draven, I did Victor, I did Thresh, then Elder Dragon and Galio with 10x experience at level 25, and Aurelion Soul playing like actual relics. And the relics we will discuss later, but right now let's just look at the champion first. At the patch rather. We got a lot of stuff, right? New champion Udyr playable early this week, yeah, like... Was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. And we need to keep in mind that his battle pass is a little bit short. It's like exactly 4 weeks, and next patch will be hitting pretty early, I would say. Udyr level 2. One thing that we should know about Udyr is that, like, when a champion is released, or added to Path of Champions, or maybe a new champion is released, we always need to do special checks, like 5 mana, 5 attack, 5 health. So if we add +3 +0 or +0 +3 via Luminous Orb, then we can also pair him with Starforge Gauntlets, 1 extra mana, 3 mana round 1 with just that those relics, and if we reach enough for mana flow, that's 4 mana round 1. That's huge, almost playable round 1, just naturally. He is also almost Titanic because of that, right? And, well, 5 mana cost is pretty good, I would say. I usually prefer 6 mana champions, so that's a nice number. We can check the... on Wiki, we can find what epic items we can get at what cost of units. Like Black Cleaver, True Reflection, I think it's called, summon a copy of me, double attack, all those things, and usually the more expensive unit is, the better items we can get. It was a huge buff to heavier and more Titanic units. That's why I kinda started rating Volibear even better than I used to. So yeah, talking about Volibear. Starforge Gauntlets, check. Then, what else? Found Fortune, we'll figure it out. And also other relics. When I'm summoned or strike, create a stance swap in hand, or if you have one, reduce its cost to 0. I have +1/+1 for each stance you've played this game. The idea is pretty simple. We can buff any unit on board at any point of the game, and this guy is growing, stat-wise. By the way, how old is Udyr, I wonder? Also, he has been reworked in League, so he is no longer that kind of Phoenix guy. Now he is a monk that has Alpha Claw stance, Beer stance. It used to be a turtle, now it is just a shield, I guess. Beer stance is still Beer stance, and Phoenix is now just a Glacier Storm kinda thingy around him. Or maybe following enemy, if you double tap that. So we can buff anything at any point of the game, and Udyr is growing, which makes him a pretty good champion actually. I still would prefer to see Trundle or Sejuani. Like, if you have been by my side in all the days, even before YouTube, I've been telling a lot of stories about Udyr. Like how I wanted him to be in Path of Champions long before Constellation. At 3 stars, he had a pretty clear idea how to play him. You wanted to do stances, slow but steady, the share the bounty thingy, if you play buff, single target buff, then it will be copied on your weakest ally. Great idea. Also, evolution is alright, you're getting regeneration, overwhelm, but now it's a bit nerfed since evolution is now legendary power. He had a pretty clear dream, and now sadly he is kind of a power creep victim. He needs a pretty good 6-star upgrade at this point. His deck: Omen Hawk, Favorite Artisan, Flash Freeze. So we have Forge, interesting choice. We have Sharp Sight and actually good stats, that's good. Flash Freeze. So Ornn has in his deck Catalyst. How do we deal with huge enemies, nightmare enemies? Ornn has Kill 3 for 3 mana. And Udyr got Flash Freeze. I guess Ornn might be reworked at some point. Or maybe he's just not getting his constellation, I don't know. Yeah, Flash Freeze is great. Ice Whale Archer, Frostbite strongest enemy. This unit has, I think, Savage Shield in one deck, Barrier Strike, Draw 1 in another deck, so pretty common for Jordan. Inner Beast. That's a 2 mana spell to create stance, so it's a 5 mana combo. Troll Chant. It's just here for some reason. I guess we needed one more card and it was really hard to get one. Kind of makes sense because of the 4th star that we will see pretty soon, but it's a bit weird to see this card in Udyr's deck, I think. Also 3 spells. We also usually do Mel's Relic check, and well, 3 spells is a bit too much. Mel's Relic is grant your spell, one of your spells in your library, -1 mana cost and random epic item. So it's a really nice way to play Relic, but probably not viable in here. Scarthane Stefan. Honestly, I didn't like the card just because he talks way too much when we were facing Tryndamere, but he can combo with Ram Stance greatly. Regeneration, nice. Overwhelm, great, so he is supposed to be our early game carry. And he also gets the well-deserved Challenger item. Kiara Allseer. When I'm someone creates 10 swap, the first one you play each round costs 0. That's a pretty nice rare card. Nothing else to add. Kind of mid-game win condition at 2 stars, I would say. Star power. Stand swap grants +1/+1. I guess it's just that nothing else made enough sense, or you probably really needed it, right? So we can play 3 mana stands for +2/+2, and probably it would have been not enough. This way, whenever we play a stance, we're getting 1 health even if we're playing the Overwhelm one, we're getting +1 damage even if we're playing Regeneration one, and if we're playing the Ram stance, the unit is getting +1/+1, which is pretty nice, honestly. Either way, this is a power, so it should not be working with Sacred Technique. I'm a bit running before crawling, but keep it in mind. We will keep it in mind. +1 starting mana accelerates to focus, which means that slow but steady is no longer relevant. Well, pity, but what can we do? We really needed this when we play Udyr. The first thing that I noticed when I was playing Udyr, it was just such a nice, funny dissonance in my head that I'm playing Ram stance, and I was honestly, although I'm playing at 3x speed, I was just expecting the game to be slow, and I was expecting the stance to be played at slow speed. It was just such a nice, interesting feeling. It reminded me also of, like, if you guys know the Metroidvania kind of stuff, the probably genre, I would say. Some of those games do have randomizers. The games are 20 years old. I guess Dread is pretty new, relatively. It already has a randomizer. So back in our days, we could only play the story mode, the main campaign, and then some bright minds kind of decoded the stuff and solved stuff. And now we can have Metroid Fusion randomizer, and we can have the infinite jump or super speed or break anything while you're spinning and jumping as early as possible. It's like you're doing this early and it feels weird. You're not supposed to be able to do that this early, and I got just exactly the same feeling about Stance Swap. I'm playing +2/+2 at fast speed, focus speed rather, without giving the opponent any opportunity to play something in response. Great stuff. Stance Mastery 2. When you target ally with stance, grant them +1/+1. Same. Each round, the first time you play stun swap on ally, it strikes the weakest enemy. Basically, Stalker's Blade. Kind of. Honestly, my first thoughts were it's huge. It's really good. I guess you're time locked because each round, the first time. But oh boy, you're able to almost kill weakest enemy every round just on focus speed. Sounds great. It's probably he is once again a really strong 3-star champion. Well, I'm playing 2 stars right now. I got main campaign and it was kind of a breeze, but also not really. Like, Soraka is pretty straightforward. You have an idea of you're playing this creature, that creature, and then you just take care of those creatures. And you hurt them with your 2-star upgrade, and then you heal them using Soraka or Wish or any heal that you have. And that's a pretty straightforward plan. Udyr is kind of straightforward too, you're just playing units, you're buffing them, and that's about it. I guess. But at least you're getting some multiplicative power from Udyr being Udyr at level 2. He's getting +1/+1 for every stance. So there is something like multi-dimensional, I would say. It's not just one creature gets stats flat. It's better. This one is much better. Especially Soraka can get only +3/+3 on one creature, and you barely if ever get the great dream of healing everyone with Wish for 3+. And Udyr, well, you can generate several stances every round, basically. So Udyr feels much better. He is not necessarily performing much better, but at 2 stars, he feels like he is kind of at the same power level as 3-star Soraka, honestly. I'm yet to go to Nightmares, but still. Yeah, so 2 stars Udyr is probably just a bit weaker than 3-star Soraka, just because of Relics, honestly. I was playing the... Soraka has Hymn of LoR and Lost Chapter. So we're playing Soraka for 3 mana round 2. Then we stun any enemy in Nightmares using our 2-star upgrade for free. We're hurting Soraka. We're stunning enemy. And then with 3 mana and Hymn of LoR, we're just doubling stats of Soraka, and that's 3 mana, 6/16 as early as round 2. That was pretty big. But well, enemy usually just has like 4 creatures already by that point. Gets wall. I mean... Huh? Is it like early access? Gets wall. When you increase ally stats with a spell, increase them by 2 more. Yeah, this one is really intriguing. This one is... We should be extremely like thankful that devs got this as a baseline upgrade, honestly. It just gets you... Like, imagination is just... I have pretty strong feelings about this one. I have always been a fan of buffing creatures, increasing their stats, like taking care of them. Ever since I got into Runeterra, I was like, wow, we have Fated, such a nice keyword, we have equipment, such a nice mechanic that wasn't really that good in Magic the Gathering, I guess. I don't know. It was a more niche, I felt like, at that point of time. So yeah, gets wall. Any buff will be just better. And Udyr's personal signature spell, grant everyone, every ally, everywhere +1/+1. Oh boy. and it still works with slow but steady, so sounds interesting to me. We still have a lot of kind of unsolved issues with Gets Wall, Secret Technique, and the everywhere buffs. Something is just a bit tricky about that. Something was nerfed, something was changed, and we need to figure out what is working, how is it working. Probably devs have some information, insights about how it was working actually, and maybe something was changed or fixed if there was a problem. But either way, just these combos with any stance, and of course it combos with Udyr's level 2, which is a 5 mana slow spell, but still. Mana flow, stance mastery 3. Your stance webs are replaced with mastery stance webs, and they are accelerated to burst. I guess staying true to Udyr's flavor, his theme, and of course burst speed. So last time I checked the wiki, the Udyr page was already added, but stances were like red page not existing. So if I had to guess, then his regeneration is probably given also toughness, or given that it is a burst speed, it should be barrier. It would be great, like 6 stars of course. Overwhelm might be first attack, quick attack, just because we're lacking some those kind of stuff. Quick attack or maybe challenger, because we also have regeneration. +2/+2, I don't know. I don't know about that one. And Rom stance, I will be a bit disappointed if it's no longer hurting our allies. My, I think, very second run was with a Vladimir support champion, and also have Stefan, so not really hurting allies for 1 damage is a bit weird and denying us a lot of synergy. Like, this card will be no longer relevant. It will be just a cut. Clear cut. I would guess that we could forge every ally, since we have Artisan that is a forge kind related and we're having buffs. But it might be way too broken if it works with the Gets Wall. If it doesn't, then it just feels bad. Not sure. And Pierce stance, I guess it's like stun something, if we are being true to League of Legends. Relic, Innervating Locket. When you play Stance Web, heal your Nexus 2 and refill 1 spell mana. So that's like purely Udyr's Relic, and well, it's definitely better than some relics out there like Yasuo's one, Action's one. But well, this relic will exist. It has a pretty clear plan what to do and yeah, what it does. New relics. Honestly, I feel like we can go into a game to check cards upgrades first, since we're discussing Udyr right now. Yeah, I got him almost to level 35, and last time I played him I was having fun with this kind of build. We could discuss epics, we could discuss free-to-play epics, we could discuss pay-to-play epics. I'm not really into that right now. It will take time to theorycraft. I mean, I'm doing only exhaustive answers, so it should take a couple of hours to figure out a lot of stuff. Yeah, and also I got a couple of new relics already, 2 epics and 2 rares, I think. Either way, baseline Udyr. What did I use? What was my idea? I felt like The regeneration was so bad I actually used Starchild staff. I saw myself having just 2 regeneration and I was like, really? Give me that. That was wild. Quick attack seemed to be pretty good. Lost chapter seemed to be really good. Since we're summoning Udyr and we're creating Stand Swap, so we need that mana. Other than that, no real common relics. Voidbank Carapace has already been played by me in Draven as per usual, and then I just kind of abandoned this one. Unnecessary, which is a bright side. We do not really need any source of overwhelm, since our Stand Swap gives us overwhelm. Scorch Stash. This seems to be an interesting one, a really interesting one, because we have Ram Stands, and I've been having a lot of fun playing the Ram Stands and just clearing the board, and I guess you can see why I needed the Starchild staff. Now it just makes sense, right? I was just hurting my own Nexus over and over again in the game. I mean, you are not going to play Stances every round in PvP, just dealing 1 to enemy, and in PvE we now have opportunity to do that. Also, I had +1 damage on spells and skills, and it was nice. Scorch Stash. I had 2 of those, which means that if we play Ram Stands, Udyr will be playable for 1 mana. 5/5, 1 mana. A pretty easy level up. And you are guaranteed to have at least 1 stance in your hand by that moment, because, well, you have 2 mana round 1, and you're playing a 3 mana spell. So we need to play a creature, we need to have a creature on board, use Ram Stance on that creature, and then Udyr is playable. Just like this. I feel like it's a nice, interesting combination, but it could be improved. Grand Genius Contraplan. Create a fleeting copy of me in hand, and his spell is 5 mana, grant allies everywhere +1/+1. Which is nice, but, well, it's a bit too slow. Honestly, that's just actually way too slow. Creator's Gatebreaker, interesting. Berserker's Buckle. Huge fan. Probably people already know me by just this relic. I mean, ambassador of this relic for quite some time, almost 2 years, I guess. Seems interesting. Pretty good choice. Tempest Blade. So we can play Udyr for 3 mana, or maybe even 1 mana, during enemy attack, and just stun every enemy. These can be actually practically useful. Not really, Stalker's Blade is alright. When I'm summoned or strike, create stun swap or reduce its cost to 1. So if we have this one, then we're creating a swap and instantly reducing its cost to 0. If we have played 2 of those stances, then it will be a level up. And Udyr will be like huge already, just as soon as possible. Sounds nice to me. Yeah, I got this one. Yep, that works. This one works. This is an interesting choice, by the way, because, well, Udyr has a lot of stats. And, like, technically we can play Duplicator on him. Also, his 2-star power is when you get attack token. So scout the first time on this counts units attack each round, ready your attack, which means that you will get another stand swap. Rally, why not? Chemtech Duplicator is not a bad option. Archangel Staff, I mean, with an idea of Hidden Tome, maybe. Just if you have a plan for that, maybe. But that feels like 4 out of 10 relic slot. And also I intentionally skipped one relic that seems really interesting to me. And it will be the Deceiver's Crest. When I level up, create a copy of my champion spell in hand, it costs 0 this round. And his spell is 5 mana cost, so it's a lot of mana reduction. And we can level up Udyr just pretty easily. So we can have 2 of this. And then what was his 4-star once again? Gets wall? What does that do? When you're increasing ally stats via a spell, granted 2 more. So +1/+1 everywhere will become +3/+3 everywhere, just like that. +3/+3, +6/+6. And yeah, this is an interesting choice, I would say. Like, you have an idea, you have a dream. Snorlax. Oh, I'm being attacked. And we could use Duplicator, that's a bit too slow, I think. We could use, I guess, Frozen Tomb, if we really feel like that. But, well, I tried double Deceiver's Crest on my, I don't remember, second session probably, maybe first session. It felt like interesting choice, so maybe there is a point in playing something like this. I didn't really like the Plunder and Stalker Blade, since usually one of your cost reductions just doesn't do much, but I mean, you're clearing board, so it's just a me issue at this point that I'm feeling bad about not getting those 3 spell mana. It's fine, we're clearing the board. Either way, this will be probably a build that I'm gonna play next time, just for fun, and I also would like to try the 3 stars Udyr and getting every item to epic. I'll still do the 3 stars no epics against Lissandra and Viega. It's just gonna take a bit time. And we were about to discuss the upgrades that his units have. Ancient Coin on 6 stars, 6 mana cost. Actually felt like a nice upgrade, honestly. Just you deal with 1 adventure, you get this, and your win condition is much more clear. Inner Beast has Borrow Snacks. Not sure about this one, but hey, that's an extra free blocker, and Inner Beast works with his 4 stars later. Flash Freeze has Mana Potion. This one is exactly like an Ash constellation, I think. So, nice to have, and yeah, it definitely makes difference. Omen Hawk has Giant's Belt. This one is not really underwhelming, but well, his 3-star is your unit strikes weakest enemy, and he still 1 attack. If this bird had like +1/+1, it probably would have been better, but it's fine this way too. Favorite Artisan has Pickaxe, and this guy at 3 stars seems to be like an early game carry, since you have 4 attack naturally, you play a stance on him round 2 for all your mana, yep, but still you're getting a lot of stats, you're striking weakest enemy, and that really helps. That really helps. Parasite Alteration on Omen Hawk. We're getting a lot of upgrades on the very same cards. Now this guy has 1/3 in stats and guaranteed in our hand. By the way, I think Ash has the same Parasite Alteration. It's nice to have extra stats on units. It's a nice 1 mana drop. Really happy to see this one. And it also guarantees having a unit, round 1, and we can play Ram stance on this very unit, round 2, and play Udyr, you guessed it right, on curve. Then this rare card has Savage Shield. Happy to see this one. So we can actually buff someone else. Stefan. Skirmisher's Saber. I really expected this one to be much earlier than that. Like maybe right here. Because, well, Sporosnax is a protection that I don't think it is really relevant this early. It's a bit more of a advanced deck where you're saving mana, playing buff in response, baiting enemy, and also having Poro to block strongest enemy without overwhelm. Snorlax, take a seat, please. Then we have Ice Whale, Ultra, draw 1, yep, okay. And finally, Sensor on Troll Chant. So Sacred Technique was, I think, nerfed back in the days. Sacred Technique is why double the stats, double the buff you're giving to your allies. Just let me read it. It's a power. When ally gains stats from a spell, it gains twice that many instead, which means that +1/+1 everywhere should give +2/+2 everywhere. I'm really curious. Will it work? Will it be good? It's a bit not optimal, but idea is pretty clear. And back in the days, the Sacred Technique was working with every Censor in the game. Because technically this item is just these spells. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, technically this item is just in this spell. And with Sacred Technique, this Censor was given +2/+2. And the +3/+3 Censor was given +6/+6. I think it was nerfed. I was really sure that it was nerfed, but now we have Udyr patch, and I need to check it once again. By the way, there was some other bugs that were fixed, that were not in patch notes. During Nuno patch, the Darken equipment was no longer bugged. It was fixed, so it just took about 1 year of Darken equipment being extremely OP. Now it's no longer an issue, if I can say so. And something else. Other that Healer Node no longer shows plus money instead of minus money. Okay, moving on. Relics. Bloodbrand. When you play another ally, deal 1 to it and grant me +1/+1. Deal 1 to that ally. Obviously, sounds really interesting on Tahm Kench. When you play another ally, deal 1 to it and grant me +1/+1. I didn't buy that relic, but I think I didn't. When you play ally with 2+ health, deal 1 to it and grant it overwhelm and impact. So a unit can suffer 2. 1 damage twice. I kind of lost my thought, honestly. Not gonna lie. I was about to say something, I just forgot. When you play another unit, deal 1 to it. This seems to be Vladimir's relic. I'm not sure if we're getting Vladimir, honestly. Grant me +1/+1. Well, the bad thing about this relic is it will ruin barriers just on the spot. But I'm sure that there is something good about this one. Pack a punch. Allies have impact. Pack a punch, that just reminds me of Jack. Allies have impact, reminds me of Y and Nar. But, well, this relic just doesn't seem to be good enough. Also reminds of Nora's portal accelerator. Makeshift Mayhem. Create 3 random cards in hand, they cost 1 and are fleeting. I had this relic for a couple of fights and it was Udyr. I created like 3 costs, 4 costs, 5 costs, 6 costs, and I was about to test it on Elder Dragon. Just for fun to see if it's tied to anything champion related. And that very adventure I also got Elder Dragon as a support, just as I was saying that it was interesting. But, well, testing this on Udyr just didn't bring much, but seems to me that it has some weightings, but it should be at least somehow balanced, I guess. Base hand. Add 10 random cards to your deck. Grant each a common item, rare item, and epic item. I literally just logged in and got this relic right before started recording the video, so cannot really comment on this one. But seems really nice. It doesn't really synergy with stack deck. It has pretty bad synergy with a lot of stuff, just because you're messing up your deck and, well, grant each a common item, rare item, and an epic item. This one, it's wild. It's really hard to rate this one because it's just pure randomness. Seems to be fun, honestly, seems to be fun. The Equalizer. Bring the strongest enemy to my stat. I think the last time I was asked to do top 3, top 5 worst champions in Path of Champions, we had Timo in the list. But this relic might be actually playable on Timo, just for a reason. You know, you're playing Timo, you're shrinking strongest enemy, you can dart that enemy, you can actually even sacrifice Timo, or maybe you have Grand Giant's counter plan, and then you play new Timo and you shrink another enemy. And that's how Baron Nashor will be countered by just one rare relic. Baron Nashor is just done. The TFT event, the Baron Nashor should be buffed. Now Baron Nashor should be immune to all those stuff like this. The stress defense, the stat swap, the shrink probably. I don't know, that we should be absolutely sure that devs know that this should just break Baron Nashor. So I wonder how hard it was to like put this relic into release. If I was asked if this relic is real or not real, I would probably say no way this gonna make it live, but well, it's a fun one. Will be niche and will be extremely good, I guess, in certain cases. Now, Epic Relics. Renewing Power. Power. Each round, the first time you play a 6+ cost spell, refill mana equal to its cost. Already an interesting one. Spoiler. Every relic is pretty good, but one. Each round, the first time you play a 6+ cost spell, refill mana equal to its cost. It's basically Lux, normal Lux 3 stars. Each round, the first time you play 6+ cost spell, refill mana equal to its cost. So, monthly challenges. I did play Jace into Unstoppable Force right here, because, well, his 4-star is good for this one. But speaking of Jace, I just never had a good build for him. I used to be playing Stack Deck, I used to be playing Bound Fortune, I used to be playing Comet and Duplicator. Well, that's just a... everyone's probably playing that. Relics. Little emotional support. I will take care of that later. Oh boy. Huge scratch or... So, Jace Constellation Anomaly. X-Tech Anomaly in hand, which is round start. While I'm in hand, transform me into a random 6+ cost spell. And Jace honestly is a pretty like weak champion. Early on, Elixir of Sorcery upgrade is the one that makes him fun to play. Whereas with Crystal Carrier is upgrade that makes him playable. And of course Mana Flow is another game changer, so you just need to invest into him a lot. And of course, early game you just want page 1 Forge Workers and play them as early as possible. For 6 mana. I guess the Renewing Power will be my go-to for Jace now. Other than him, it's a bit rough to call a clear winner. I was thinking like, Fiddlesticks works with any relic basically. You can play Valkyr's Blades, you could play Guardian Angels, Duplicator, Echoing Spirit is unnecessary. You could be playing many different things, and Crouch Storm with Duplicator with extra 6 mana sounds interesting, if you really need that. If you really need that. Call to Arms is a 5 mana spell. Probably one of Spirit Blossom champions can find a good 6+ cost spell. Might be actually even useful. Also had an idea of, I think, Heimerdinger. So you can play his Scraptraption. Like you're playing something round 1, and then you might be at 6 mana total round 2 if you're playing with Mana Flow. And with that power, if you have 2 of these in hand, it's just insane value. Heimerdinger of course has the kind of the build that he's good with right now. Frozen Tomb or Disciple of Shadows, Beast Within really helps, and I'm using the Corrupted Star Fragment. I just got away from Duplicator that's almost a noob trap. Just if CSF is just a better version of that. It will take time to figure out Renewing Power, but it will not take much. Rhythms of Despair. This one sounds like Nocturne, I think, but Rhythm, it could be used on Diana, because of Nightfall, could be used on Well, everyone has Nightfall, but team-wise, it's probably Nocturne. Can be relevant to Diana, can be relevant to Gloom. Gloom what? Vex. Allies in hand have Nightfall, grant the weakest enemy to Gloom. And that's actually extremely OP. On especially Diana, that's just wild. Just Diana's power is get 1 mana back, I think. So you're playing creature or a spell, you're getting mana back, you're summoning 2 more creatures really early on, like round 1, round 2, and you are granting the weakest enemy to Gloom. That's a lot of minus tokens. Round 3, you might be summoning actually 2 or 3 creatures easily. So it's almost guaranteed to kill someone. If you have the Wild Inspiration, if you have the Spirit Stone, if you have something, just 1 drop with Spirit Stone is already really great with this relic. Allies in hand have Nightfall, grant the biggest enemy to Gloom. And also if we happen to have Nocturne or Diana Constellation, this one might be just broken on them. We will see. This seems to be alright on Vex as well. Vex 1-star power, 3-star power is boost enemies. Vex is when enemy is getting Gloom, grant them twice as many. So this one is good, strong enough, and seems to be practically viable. Seems to be. Next one, Operian Blade. This is the one that I've gotten. And I do not want to talk about it. When I'm summoned or attacked, deal 1 to all enemies. It's like Elder Dragon's Talents at home. Epic Relic. When I'm summoned or attacked, deal 1 to all enemies. Without enemy nexus. So the attack part is honestly just bad. Like, it's just not doing anything. It might even do bad for your situation, but when I'm summoned, deal 1 to all enemies. This part is interesting. When I'm summoned, we might have something that will work with it. Just right off the bat, on top of my head, I cannot really think of anything that works with it. We could do Liblan. We could do Nila, that summons another Nila. This sounds kind of interesting in Chronicle of Ruin. If this one was striking enemy nexus, then it would have been probably good right now on Nila. When I'm summoned, it could also work with Kindred, since you're resummoning Kindred. I guess I'll just take some time to think about this one. Sentinel's Plate. Barrier, when I survive damage, grant me +3/+3 and a random keyword. And oh boy. I've been spammed, like, yo, your Giga Ari build is now buffed. Your Giga Tima build is now buffed. Anything new with a Giga? No. Well, I guess that's a really good one. I'm actually looking forward to play this one, to use in my builds. When I survive damage, it can also work with Udyr right now. Grant me +3/+3. Random keyword. Other than that, we are not getting double attack, we are not getting scout, I think, we are not getting probably evolve, I'm not sure about that one. Formidable, I do not remember. this one is interesting. Let me... Well, if someone is new, hello YouTube. This is the build I'm using on Ari quite frequently. Double Berserker's Buckle and Shooting by the Stars. So we have Overwhelm, Regeneration. Challenge actually helps us too. No, not. No. And there goes my water bottle. But why? It's fine. And I do have a lot of videos about this one, about this build. The thing is, you do not need a lot of stats. Like, let's take a look at Tam Kench. His constellation is +2/+2 when ally survives damage. Do you really need Berserker's Buckles on him? In plural, no. You need to solve other issues that you might be having. Shooting by the Stars gives you Overwhelm, Regeneration. Once again, great. Archangel Step, mana every round. I confess, I used to play him like this. And then it evolved into this one because you're still hitting your critical mass. Just like this. You do not need more than this. And why is it relevant? Because, well, +4/+4 that we're getting right now is great. But what if this +3/+3 is already enough? The last time I played this Ari was challenge 60 something against Swain. Monthly challenges. 64. Double suffer. So we're getting +4/+4 twice. If we really want to. I still didn't do the video of... Alright. Tomorrow we will be doing the full guide video, I guess. And also, the Sentinel's Plate works really interesting with cruel experiments. The one that deal 1 to ally, granted Overwhelm and Impact. So you're just getting Impact and Overwhelm from this pool. You might get Regeneration, you might get Elusiveness, a lot of great stuff. First Attack, Challenger. It will be just a one-man army as soon as you play a champion. Man, this relic is so great. It just... like, we used to have just rare relics, and they might have been overlooked. But now we have epic one, and it will be noticed. I am sure of that. This is actually OP. It solves a lot of issues in monthly challenges too. Ranger's Command. +1/+0 and quick attack. Power round start. If you have the attack token, grant random ally scout. First of all, if you have the attack token, grant random ally scout. You need to have ally on board. That's first. And second, obvious synergy with whom? Obvious synergy with Udyr, because, well, 2 stars. When you gain the attack token, create stance web. You get attack token, you're getting scout on just a random unit that is already on board, preferably you're attacking second. And yeah, that unit attacks and you get another stance web, just like that. Extra value. It probably wouldn't really matter if we do not get sorcery before the first fight, but That's a obvious synergy. What's kind of special about this rare epic relic? +1, +0 and quick attack. We were lacking this relic for quite some time. We do have the quick attack common relic. We have the death foil epic relic, which was just a better or worse quick attack one. And now we have something in the middle that actually gives us +1, +0, just like the spoil, and extra stat, which is also a power. Grant random ally scout. So this one reminds me of Queen, maybe Vayne. And actually, once again, this kind of looks generic and good, which is really good. Good generic powers, good generic relics should be used, and it just feels good to get them. All these relics will be given out in Golden Reliquaries once a month, and they are kind of exciting. Everyone but this one. Every relic just feels like, yeah, there is something about it. And you actually are looking forward to use them. And the last one, Price of Retribution, +2, +0 and Deathless. Once again, I just think that no way, if I was asked, would you believe that we will get a relic with Deathless? I would absolutely, definitely say no way. Deathless on a relic that's just so strong. Like Deathless on demand. What's next? Lifesteal? Like -0, -2, -0, get lifesteal. Price of Retribution. When ally dies, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. It's kind of close to Mordekaiser. It also reminds me of Lucian. Deathless and Guardian Angel can be really interesting. I'm looking forward to use this one with Kindred, just normal Kindred. So it will be probably Stalker's Blade, Guardian Angel, and this one. Also, when ally dies, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. There is one budget build that I'm using on Swain right now. In case if you're not feeling confident in Swain, you can try this one. Stuck was a brand. I mean, I do have several videos of Swain, although I don't enjoy playing OP stuff, just easy mode. Creator's Gatebreaker. You are leveling up Swain on attack. Swain will deal 3 damage to every enemy. Every time enemy dies via Succubus Brand, you will summon Husk. Then you summon any unit and all Husk will die. So entire enemy board will be stud locked. When a unit dies, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. And Swain's level 2 is when you deal non-combat damage to enemy nexus, stun the strongest back row enemy. So every time Husk dies, you're dealing 1, and dealing 1 stuns strongest back row enemy. One thing I was lacking in this kind of build was a bit more stats. I was about to use +2, +1. Fact Powder works really nicely. But well, +2, +0 and Deathless, and also obvious synergy with stuff dying. Man. Yeah, that one looks good. If your Swain is a bit underwhelming, if it is just 3 stars, if you still didn't invest into his Pyromantic Wake, I mean it's about 220 fragments total, I think. Is it? Maybe 240, in fact. I'm looking forward for this build too, on Swain. Battle passes. We're returning to the old way. Oh yeah. Echoing Spirit, Legend level. huge hype about this one. Legend level cap is already increased to 100. Kinda wish that we had this patch first, and only after that we had Zoe Adventure, but luckily I played just one Zoe Adventure, 100% win rate. I have not wasted anything. Any legend level, and I'm feeling just great about getting legend level again. It definitely takes a lot of time. So 140,000, 20 times probably. 2,800,000 experience, well, that's a lot. We are getting legend levels from daily quests, from weekly quests. Oh boy. I hope just everything is 140,000. Rewards are in exact same order like before. Bilgewater, Targon, Shurima. Bilgewater, Targon, Shurima. A bit weird to see Diamond Vault in the end. I mean, person that has level 98 is probably having a lot of stuff already, so I probably could expect the level 82 reward as a diamond chest, and everything just moved by one. But alright, this works too. No crystal vessel, great, thank you game. A lot of free stuff, love it. Zoe Adventure, a lot of free stuff. Legend level, a lot of free stuff. Seems nice. Battle Pass. This is something that we need to take a look at. Elder Dragon Origin, Spirit Rush. Yeah, alright. Let's take a look at Battle Pass. So last time we had a Battle Pass. It had 5 Nova Shards for each region. And it left with like different uncommon feeling. It's like it's something but it's just nothing at the same time. We have 11 regions, I think, and 11, right? Should be 11. Just 10? I am confused. I am confusion. 5, 10, 11. And this one. Alright, we have 11, so right now we have 5 times 11 Nova Fragments, Nova Shards in Battle Pass. That's 55 in total. It probably would have felt better if we had something like 20 for one region, 20 for another region, 20 for third region, and then rotation, or maybe 4, 4, 3, something like that. When something is 6, 10, which are we missing? Piltover and Zaun is missing. No. Rima, Targon, Ionia, Vandal City. Shadow Isles. Which I feel like one should be missing. Ionia, Bundle City. Bilgewater, Demacia, Bilgewater, Demacia. Freljord Noxus, Freljord Noxus. Runeterra, right. Runeterra is missing. So it probably would have felt better if I had like 4-4-3 and 20 fragments each region. It probably would have felt better, yep. Like, emotionally. I mean, I am adult enough to understand that, well, 5 Nova shards, we're not buying Battle Pass once, so if we are planning to get like 4 Battle Passes, that's at least something. But oh boy, we need to buy like 12 Battle Passes, which is a whole year, to get just 60 shards. I guess that's alright. From a really huge, distant perspective, I guess that will be alright in like 3 years. Well, in 2 years that will be a whole Nova Crystal, so seems alright at this point from this perspective. Last month, I made a post in Telegram that I probably would not recommend buying the Battle Pass until we see a new one. In a way that we need to be sure that we will be getting Nova shards again, since we knew that devs had a plan to change Battle Pass system. Now it probably is confirmed that we are having shards, so I'm feeling confident in buying Battle Passes to get Nova shards. That's honestly the main point. What else should we look at in Battle Passes? We want to see 40 fragments in bot Battle Pass part and 40 in a free-to-play Battle Pass part. We have seen both. Then, next, it is amount of gold vaults. 1, 3, that's alright. We will have 2 silvers, which is 1 more than we used to have. Experience is still staying, 2 greater, that's I think good. We can buy experience boosts in shop, in Emporium, and this one is a nice feature. Why not? 1000 dust. Why not? 40 free Udyr fragments if we just play the game. That's great, that's a lot of fragments. Like, we need to save up just 20 fragments and Udyr will be 2 stars, which is enough to complete whole basic campaign, which is, to a normal person, it will be like weeks of entertainment, I would say. Well, back in the days we had a 1x speed, so I could have said that one champion is more than 2 weeks, since several adventures could take 1 hour each at 1x speed. These days, yeah, it's a bit different, but still, to complete whole campaign, that's at least 1 week of playing 1 hour every day. Another gold vault, create 10 wild fragments, create another gold vault number 3. Silver star vessel, that's the same. Minor gemstone vessel, that's the same. We're probably having about the same amount of wild fragments, and I think we're having 1 more or the same amount of gold vaults. It's 5 now. The gold star vessel is still right here, which is the best part about this battle pass, honestly. In a free-to-play, in a free track, we get gold star vessel, which is a extremely prestigious reward. That's great. And diamond vault still over here as a final reward. Looks good. So kinda still same value. Are we missing anything? We have discussed Udyr. We have discussed builds. We have discussed feelings and emotions. We have discussed relics. We have discussed battle pass. nightmares. Last time I checked, we had 5 out of 6 on Fiddlesticks. Udyr is addition to Fiddlesticks Adventure, but no reward. Whereas on the adventure, there is no Udyr right now. So speaking about this one, we shouldn't hurry. But speaking about this quest, it's back. Complete a 5-star adventure, nightmare campaign with any champion. Any champion? Not just Udyr, but any champion, really? Man, I thought we had to play Udyr. So it will be completed just by playing Nightmare weekly. Why not? Well, why thank you. Battle passes will include fragments of the featured champions of the release. For this patch it will be Udyr. Great. So we have had one X champion in a patch, I think 3 times already, right? Soraka, Nunu and Udyr. Next patch could be Speed Blossom Return. It's interesting one. Maybe no new champions at all. I don't know. A lot of people have every Speed Blossom champion fragments, so I'm a bit curious to see what will be the next patch. Also, maybe Speed Blossom event will take 2 months, who knows? Because, well, beginners, it will be hard for them to collect stuff for Speed Blossom champions. Well, who knows? Maybe next patch, next battle pass will be 2 champions. So, alright, we have 6 new epic relics. Some new rare relics. 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. Whole new champion. And legend level upgrade, that's just... that warms my heart. Honestly. I had different... not really expectations, beliefs, faith. I wanted to see one thing. And at least one happened. Yeah. Good for me. I think that's it about this review. Take care.